These are 3 terrifying stories of school lockdowns that will chill you to your core. Sit back, turn the lights off, and prepare yourself for the haunting unknown. Story 1, the screams in the hallway. It was a dull Friday afternoon in calculus class. 7th period, just one more hurdle before spring break. Our teacher, always laid back, decided to lighten the mood with a quiz game on sporkle.com. Laughter filled the room as we guessed brand logos, unaware of how quickly that laughter would turn to terror. The dean's voice cut through the intercom, shaky and panicked. This is not a drill. Lockdown. Now. The classroom froze. Even our carefree teacher seemed paralyzed for a moment before shutting off the lights and ushering us into the corner. Silence filled the room, broken only by our hurried breaths. The hum of the school's electrical systems abruptly stopped, plunging us into an even more ominous stillness. Then we heard it. A man screaming, his voice filled with rage, echoing through the hallway. The sound of lockers rattling under heavy fists followed as he screamed, "I'll kill all of you." 2 girls began sobbing, their cries muffled by trembling hands. The man's banging moved closer, and when it reached our door, the tension snapped. A girl let out a terrified scream, and the man's voice grew louder. "Open up!" He pounded relentlessly, his rage shaking the door. Every second felt like an eternity. But finally, the noise faded as his footsteps retreated. Relief came only when the dean announced the lockdown was lifted, but his explanation was chilling. A mentally unstable intruder had assaulted the front desk receptionist before disappearing into the school. Rumors spread about a weapon found on him later, a .44 Magnum, but no one knew for sure. The man vanished, leaving nothing but unanswered questions and the lingering fear that he might return. Story 2. The man behind the glass. The October rain hammered against the windows as 6th graders crowded the lunchroom. At first, the booming noise outside was mistaken for thunder until screams filled the air. Security rushed in, shouting for everyone to get inside the multi-purpose room. Glass walls lined one side of the room, and as we shuffled in, staff hurriedly drew the curtains. Whispers spread quickly. My friend Eric returned from speaking with a staff member, his face pale. "It's the guy who lives near the school," he whispered. "He's threatening to kill the cops if they evict him. He's watching us." It wasn't just any man. He was a registered sex offender, known for his erratic behavior. One Halloween, he'd written, "Don't come here or I'll kill you," on his window, his own blood. We spent over an hour trapped in the room, every sound outside making our hearts race. Though we were eventually released, the unease lingered. Knowing he lived so close to us was a nightmare that didn't fade when the lockdown ended. Story 3. The man in the basement. As a fresh college graduate, I landed a job at my old high school, working in the basement's IT office. The setup was cozy. Big desks, mini fridges, and the hum of servers creating a strange comfort. That day, my coworkers were upstairs, leaving me alone to enjoy my lunch when the call came. Lockdown. Possible armed intruder. I turned off the lights, plunging the room into darkness. The office had no door, just an open entrance, and the basement's only door couldn't even lock. I crouched under my desk, texting my coworkers for updates. His calmness was unnerving. When I asked who he was, he claimed he was a parent there to pick up his child. But then I saw the text from my coworker. The shooter's wearing a red shirt and hat. Minutes dragged by in tense silence. Then, the creak of the basement door shattered the stillness. Heavy footsteps descended the stairs. I froze. A man entered the room, his silhouette barely visible in the faint light from the hallway. My phone buzzed loudly, and his head snapped toward me. He stepped closer. Desperation overtook me as I dove out, pleading for my life. He grabbed my arm, whispering, "It's okay. I'm hiding too." "What's happening upstairs?" My blood ran cold. He fit the description. Panic set in as I bolted for the stairs. A gunshot rang out, the sound reverberating through the basement. I kept running until I burst into the light of the main building. Police apprehended the man moments later. Mr. Buckley, the teacher he had shot, survived the attack. To this day, I can still hear the echo of that gunshot in my nightmares. School lockdowns aren't just drills. Sometimes they're the stuff of real nightmares. Sleep tight, if you can.